and welcome to another episode of Put Me in Coach on episode 75, Diamondbacks versus Twins game 1. And yes, I can see because unfortunately I'm not wearing my glasses because of enough. I can see without my glasses. Lemma of the day, Kenta Marte is back to playing second base. Vargas playing first base. Jordan Lawler playing center field, and Lou James Grover playing DH, and the rest is the same. I think Loris Grover Jr. is back, also playing left field. So, and the rest is back. So that's that. And then Pavin Smith came in to play DH. He came in to play DH, and So Pavin Smith came in to hit. Oh, here it is. I have it. I don't know why I have it. But yeah, on top of the ninth, Pavin Smith came in to play DH, took over for Lou James Grover later and stuff. So that's where he got a base hit as well. And then Jorge Barosa came in to pitch hit. And also, he came in to the bottom of the seventh to pitch run for Lourdes Guerrero Jr. when Lourdes Guerrero Jr. hit a base hit somewhere and stuff. And then in the top of the eighth, he came in to play center field and for Jordan Lawler to play left field to take out Lourdes Guerrero Jr. later on. And then fortunately enough, Tommy Troyd came in to be a pitch runner for Jordan Lawler in bottom of the eighth, and also took over left field in the top of the ninth and stuff. So that's, now everything's like all over the place with that. But Jorge Barroso also came in to hit as well. And that's basically of that. So that's all the difference. That's why you see Jordan Lawler is like center field / left field because of that and stuff. So yeah. Looking up the numbers, only one person, you could say two people, did not get a base hit. But if you look at the regular lineup together and stuff, pretty much one person did not get a base hit, and that's Perdomo. The res did. So that's just a good showing enough of we are hitting the baseball a lot and stuff. Jordan Lawler went 2 for 4. Nolan Arenado went 2 for 4. Corbin Carroll went 3 for 4. And stuff, and the rest probably had one hit, and Perdomo went 0 for 3 and stuff. Even Pavin Smith went 1 for 1 and stuff. So that's pretty much of that for offense. So looking pretty good and stuff. A lot of pitching in a way of enough today and stuff. Starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks is Michael Orzoka. He went 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, struck out none, walked none, and gave up none runs and 7. So he only pitched 1 inning in this, the beginning of the top of the second. He realized enough of he feels something wrong with his leg when he was warming up when Adrian De Castro was backup catching, trying to get to Gabe Marino, getting some time so he can come in and replace him at the time when the inning was going and stuff, when they were just warming up and stuff. So he felt something in his leg when he was throwing, and it just didn't feel good and stuff. I thinking where he was in his throwing in and stuff, and then one of his step, I guess, at the end of his throwing, he felt something got tighten, I guess, on his leg and stuff, and it didn't feel good for him. So he was having a really hard time stepping really well and stuff. And there was also like where he was bending as well, and he felt like some cramp in his side of his leg and one of his leg and stuff. It's just not feeling so well and stuff, and I feeling that's a big hard time to really walk and have that balance to your legs and stuff. So it just didn't feel good for him, so that's why he had to get out and stuff. I think he was also trying to make it work and stuff, but realized enough of like, yeah, like I can't do this and stuff. So he made a good decision enough to get out the game and stuff, just to be how much healthy of enough and stuff. Hopefully he can have a comeback, and next time of the rotation of the starting rotation with the Diamondbacks, he will be healthy. Hopefully, for the next time he will come up and stuff. But it's a bummer enough to see him coming out too early of the game and stuff. So we kind of had like a bullpen game and stuff, and we really use a lot of pitchers and stuff. I'm surprised of it. I wouldn't use all of this pitchers for bullpen after Michael Orsoka came in the one inning and stuff. Like was absolutely insane, but it's what he did. I'm not Ravello, so like I don't know, but it's just crazy what he used, because he used a lot and stuff. Just for a starting pitcher, only came out in the top of the second when he only pitched for like one inning and stuff. Like how many people he need to use? He really went like a bullpen game and stuff, and just again, it was just more surprising of it. We'll talk about the bullpen a little bit later. After we'll talk about the Twins starting pitcher, Connor Phillip. I believe that's how you say his last name. He went 5 innings, gave up 9 hits, struck out 4, walked 3, and then gave up 6 runs. So I think he did okay. Again, I would like to see more of Michael Osorka, so I would give him a little preference of enough of both of them in the same level or anything and stuff. I think he had a great start in the beginning and stuff. I think the Diamondbacks figured him a little bit later on in the game, and then fortunately they've been getting base hits off of him and stuff. So he didn't really do a good job at the very end of the till the 5th or whatever and stuff. So that's where enough of runs were a little going bad and stuff. Giving up 9 hits on the dude and stuff. It's huge to think about that and stuff. But he has little strikeouts, and I think the walks were a little struggling him a little bit and stuff. But, again, not so bad and anything and stuff. So I think that's the most biggest thing from the person pitch and stuff. So I would definitely say he did okay. I'll give that to him and stuff. Diamondbacks bullpen of today, again, there was a lot. Starting off with Terry Clark, he gave 1 run away and stuff, and then Ryan Thompson came in and stuff, and he also gave 1 run away and stuff, and then Dre Jensen actually pitched 2 innings, and he only gave up 1 run in 1 inning and stuff. And I'm feeling like, are we getting like some trend or something where enough of every pitcher comes in, they're gonna give a run away and stuff? Till at that time, nobody wasn't doing of it. Jonathan Liskia came in after that, he did good. And then Brendan Garcia came in, he did good. And then Kevin Ginkel gave a couple runs and stuff, so that was not good. And then Paul Sewald at the end. So yeah, it was a lot and stuff, but I don't know. I would like if you think about enough to having a starting pitcher to be injured this early of the game. How about you just keep leading the same off? I mean, same pitchers are doing and stuff. Like I would like why would you put Clark only in one inning? And stuff, and then put Ryan Thompson the next inning. Like, why did you do this? Like, you're trying to put it in a bullpen, but like again, it's only the top of the second. What are you doing of switching a pitcher in top of the third with a different pitcher and stuff? Like, I get their bullpens, but like I feeling like you want to give a little more opportunity for these pitchers. Like I would love to see Taylor Clark go again in the top of the third and give him second innings, maybe 3 innings till the time enough of why wouldn't you enough to put Ryan Thompson out there and stuff. I get about Dre um, Jameson got 2 innings and stuff. Even Jonathan Liska got 2 innings as well. Like it's just so weird enough if you gave those two pitchers 2 innings and stuff, and the rest only gave up, 1 inning. Like maybe you had time of doing of these guys, but like again, like I don't know, it's so weird. Enough that I think it was just so early what you did into them. It worked for us, but it's just like it just went a weird way, in my opinion, and stuff. So it's what it is. I'm not gonna grudge because we won the game, cool, but you know we were very close to losing the game as well. And then we're gonna talk about scoring. I kind of dial it down a little bit, so I won't talk about the real stuff. Actually, really focus on and stuff. So if it's a little bit confused, don't be confused. It's gonna be wonky if it is, and stuff. So that's just what it is and stuff. Um, uh, this was actually a crazy game, so there was a lot of scoring. Victor Vadatini hit a solo home run to make it 1-0 top of the second. Vargas hit a 2 RBI single to make it 5-3 bottom of the fourth. Kento Marte with a solo home run to make it 6-3 bottom of the fifth. Josh Bell a solo home run make them 4-6 top of the eighth. Royce Lewis hit a solo home run to make it 5-6 on top of the eighth. Back-to-back home runs and stuff. And then Corbin Carroll pretty much wide it open for the Diamondbacks with a 3 RBI triple to make it 9-5 bottom of the eighth. And that is the final score. 9-5, and our record right now is 39-36. So now we are, I believe, let's see. We're like 2 or 3 up over 500, something like around there. And but honestly enough, a really good win today for the Diamondbacks and stuff. So that's a good to see them to win and stuff. Progress. Again, I'm thinking we just need to just keep going of it. This is another time enough of the Twins are not really doing so well and stuff. So again, we gotta have this opportunity. Same thing with like the Angels and stuff. So don't give them a grudge for tomorrow and stuff. So we gotta go big. Gotta win games, the matter we can and stuff. So if we can do more offense like this and stuff, we can do it and stuff. And hopefully just showing that the Twins they're weak and stuff, because we gotta win. We gotta win games at the time and stuff. So we gotta get that advantage off of them and stuff. So I think that will be huge and stuff. Pitching wise enough, like I get Michael Sorka got injured and stuff. It's a bummer to see him going out so early and stuff. So hopefully enough he'll be healthy next time in the rotation and stuff. Yeah, it's just, I thinking there was a little, here and there and bumps with the bullpen and stuff, but fortunately enough, they figure enough. Sorry. Figure enough to actually get a win under them overall and stuff, not really giving up so much runs on the opposite side, so the offense can absolutely get more runs and stuff. I get about Kevin Ginkel made a very close game and stuff, and then till the eighth inning we kind of blew it up with Corbin Carroll triple and stuff. So it really does make a difference enough bit, but those are the things that we got to really look for and stuff, and we cannot have the other team have a chance enough to have a comeback. So there was little negatives with the offense. There's a little bit negative in the bullpen as well, but fortunately enough, the offense kind of carried us a little bit, and also there was a little help from the bullpen as well, just to keep that line to us so we can actually win games and stuff. So it's a positive, but we gotta also need to figure those things out. We're enough of we can't let those things slide and stuff. So hopefully people will learn from their mistakes from that and stuff. So that's pretty much of that. I know Gallen is pitching tomorrow and stuff. Hopefully he does good, because if not, then it's gonna be a struggle to watch, because again, I keep telling you enough of with Gallen and Kelly just not pitching so well and stuff. I don't know what's going on with them, but they need to change and actually pitch very well, because they're not pitching very well at the time, and they need change. Last thing of enough to talk about is basically the MVP. Corbin Carroll is the MVP today. This is his 8th time to win the MVP. I think he is now tied with Kendall Marte with 8th MVP wins and stuff. Obviously, the guy did crazy. He went 3 for 4 with the triple. 3 RBI, absolutely insane and stuff. It was a little tough enough. I think Kendall Marte is also up there as well, but fortunately enough, I think I give a little tap to Carroll today and stuff. So that's pretty much of that, and yeah, so hopefully we can win tomorrow over the Twins and stuff. If we win tomorrow, we win the series, and hopefully if we win tomorrow enough we can win on Sunday, on Father's Day, because we can go for a sweep. We want to win the matter of the games we can and do better and stuff, win fair, square, and every single time and stuff. So that's what we got to do and stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoy this episode. I'm not wearing glasses. It's okay. I can see. I'm not gonna get blindsided from the the lights and stuff, and also enough I can see my notes. I know I'm blind and stuff, but here and there and stuff, but I can see. I don't know, I just felt like enough of today, enough of for the reflection of in the camera and stuff, it would be a little bit weird and here and there and stuff, and yeah, I can see. Don't worry, I have enough. I can see by being blind and stuff. I made my notes enough of with words to be more bigger, so I can do see watch and stuff, because those are like the most difficult with the notes here and there with like notepads or on laptops and stuff. You can make the fonts bigger overall and stuff, and so it's just a lot better to read and stuff. So that's just what it is and stuff. Hopefully you guys have a great day, and thank you for watching.